Welcome everyone. Once again, I'm doing a late night video. It is day 8, yes, of the 21-day video challenge. So it's week 2. I'm so excited, and I want to thank all of you guys, as we do out in Joshua Tree, Namaste style, for showing up for the videos so far. And please let me know what interests you. And I'm going to dive in and try and keep this much shorter. I was very laid back on the Sunday one with wind blowing and after the flash flood. We're moving into monsoon season here in the Mojave Desert, so it's pretty exciting, my first summer out here. So welcome. What I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I see a lot of people struggling with, and I get it. I totally get it. So what we want to talk about is completion. Do you guys have any trouble with completing things? Do you start a lot of stuff and then just never finish? I'm really curious to know if this resonates for you guys. So please, I can't look at the questions while I'm doing the video, but I can afterwards, and I can address them because we got 2 more weeks of videos coming. And if you guys like them, I'll continue them after the 21-day challenge. So I want to talk to you guys about completion, because tell me if this resonates for you. Usually the reason people have trouble completing is because, hey, if you don't complete, no one can say it sucks, right? And you may not even know that that's underneath it, because the truth is you can always revise, and writing is rewriting. So if you're writing, and if you're storytelling on the page or the stage, either way, I always suggest with the people I work with that you start on the page and then you do the stage, which is here. This video is a stage. And then you go back to the page, and that's a really interesting dynamic for evolving a story. But that's for another video. Now we're just talking about the art of completion, because there's something so powerful about just saying the end and then submitting or surrendering and letting it go, or posting or sharing, okay? So what I want to talk about is, because it's really important, this is the holy grail of any kind of success in business or creativity, and it gives you, there should be a whole cult around it, the cult of completion. Maybe there is. There is the cult of cute in Japan. I think that's still going on. In any case, there is something so spiritual about completing things too, because what you're doing is harvesting. And this is something I want to talk about, these 3 different points that'll help you, because do you guys know who David White is? He's a beautiful poet who also works with entrepreneurs and businesses, and he helps you get in touch with your soul. And he's got a great book out called Clear Mind, Wild Heart, and I highly suggest it. And let me know if it inspires you. Take a look or take a listen and see if it's something that appeals. But one of the things he talks about, because I have my 3 points here, I want to make sure I'm giving you quick value, is that you want to be willing to harvest who you are in a specific place and time. Like if I write a post today, I frankly may not even write it the same way an hour later, let alone tomorrow or a week later, a month later, or a decade later. So what you want to do is harvest who you are at this particular time and space. And there is a beautiful spiritual aspect of letting go and just letting it be what it is, and letting whatever it is that you create be an artifact for, and something you can be loving toward, and let it be its own thing. Now that doesn't mean you don't go through revisions depending on what you're sharing. And still, the idea is to give yourself a break and realize that you're just harvesting your identity and your beingness in this moment, in this space and time. Does that make sense? I'd love to know if that resonates for you. So that's one of the tips. Another tip, and this is very practical, is if you're writing something long, like right now I'm working on a book, and that can get, Flannery O'Connor talks about, you lose your teeth and your hair when it's like a marathon as opposed to a sprint. So the cool thing is doing something like this 21-day challenge, social media, whether it's page or stage. So whether it's video, which is an incredible way to reach a lot of people, or it's blog posts or Instagram or Twitter. I have my clients do a monthly challenge, and I have them start on Instagram if that's something that they like. A beautiful monthly challenge. And by the way, Instagram is super short. Now I write long because I write long. That's my natural way. People can pick, and the cool thing is you get to pick an image along with writing something in a caption. So it can really be manageable because you can get inspired by whatever it is you pick to illustrate. And then you can riff off that, and I usually give people a Rumi quote for the whole month. So they have this like, okay, every day I'm riffing on the Rumi. And it's a really beautiful way. You guys can check that out. I can post about that if you want to know more about those monthly challenges. In any case, what I'm saying is be willing to post little short things daily, ideally, that give you a way of connecting with people. You could even try out some of the stuff you're writing or performing and see if it's landing and what's landing, and just share, and you can build your audience and platform as you go along, and it will give you the stamina and the spirit to keep, continuing on with your longer project. So let me know if that's a helpful little tip there. And my last one, now I'm someone who comes from a background of abandonment, so I don't say this lightly. You will never, this is a mindset shift, okay? Do you guys know the sculptor Giacometti? Look him up if you don't know him. He's so extraordinary. The way he would create his sculptures is they were never finished, and they're kind of in this kinetic, unfinished state. They're finished and unfinished at the same time, and they're a beautiful testament to how nothing's ever finished, and we're always evolving, and entropy and so forth. So they're quite extraordinary and really inspiring to me, because here's what happens. Like, you bring it a piece, whatever it might be, as far as it can go, sure. I mean, look, I'll post an Instagram, and because I'm a professional writer, I'm going to run a business where I'm helping people with storytelling. I might go back and fix things and pick around. But I have to let myself, at a certain point, okay, enough is enough, right? And we all have our own boundaries with those kind of things, but I could fiddle until the end of time because I love it too. So Giacometti, we can learn from him and apply it, because here's what happens. This is a secret. That's not really a secret. You will never finish. All the stuff I posted, oh my God, here. And now I know I've shown you guys these things before, but I want to show you because I'm not the most productive, and I'm working on getting more productive. And there are different reasons for that. But, I have a couple of books traditionally published, and I'm working on a third one. And I have one in a drawer, at least one. So Love Junkie came out in 2008 in paperback, okay? And Go West Young Effed Up Chick came out in 1999 in paperback. What? That's like a little bit of time in between. So in any case, it's really exciting to have them done. And I have tons of articles and plays and you name it in between. Now, here's another secret, oh my God, it's so hot. I'm dripping sweat already. This is because I love you so much. I'm showing up regardless. And because you guys are keeping me accountable. That's something else I want to talk about too. Make sure you look for what gives you urgency. Promise someone, have a partner, or do a challenge like I'm doing and crank stuff out. See what gives you urgency. So in any case, I don't always look back at these books, but when I do, I think, I don't even know who wrote them. I can't even, I just looked at the last line in the first book and I was like, what? I didn't even remember that. So let them just be artifacts, and they're never finished. You just abandon them. They're a testament of a particular place and time. So I wanted to keep it short, and I hope I have. And let's see if there are any other thoughts. So I just really wanted to encourage you. I want to know if you guys have struggles with completion, if you have tips, and if you have any questions, let me know. And that, sorry, once again, so glamorous, wiping sweat from my brow. I hope that this video encouraged you and inspired you. And just surrender, just submit, just share too. And by the way, you know what? I want to finish because I didn't really share a personal story. And I hope this will encourage you guys as well. I grew up in a family, my parents, well, when I was with them, because it was a crazy childhood and I wasn't often with either of my biological parents. However, I learned a lot from them, and neither one of them really completed things. So I didn't really get a model for that. And actually, my father is able to complete certain things, but he doesn't share it publicly. He doesn't seem to be driven by that. Now, I believe in service and being a contributing member of society in the best way I can. And that actually helps spur me. And my mother, I think you guys know, died when I was quite young. I was 14, and she was incredibly gifted, and she never finished anything. My father never finished his dissertation. My mother never graduated from college. They were like this close, this close. There's something about when you get really close, that's when the most stamina, the most drive is called for, and the most spirit. So I just want to encourage you that even if you have that kind of background, look for people who are completing things and find ways that you can be encouraged to do it and overcome the fear. And also, you know what's interesting? I think for a long time underneath my fear of completion, I didn't want to go past what my parents had done. Isn't that interesting? So be willing to dig deep and find out what might be getting in your way, as long as that's not an excuse not to finish. And you will learn things even as you finish and put things out. So I encourage everyone to do short and long storytelling. Why don't you guys all jump on video like I'm doing? If I can do it, you guys can do it. Okay, so there you have it. I hope that that was inspiring and helpful, and I challenge all of you to complete something. Just surrender, just submit it off there, and then let it have a life of its own. Because once you abandon something, which is completion for artistic stuff, otherwise you keep fiddling until the end of time, you abandon it, you let it go, and you know what? This is the coolest thing too. Then it's not yours anymore. It becomes the world's, and people have different experiences with it, and that also can be really, really liberating. So I'm going to cut my swamp cooler back on, and I am just so honored that you guys joined me again in my living room here in Joshua Tree. And signing off for tonight. I will see you again. Bye.